Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now, I'm sure if you read the title, you know what you're getting into. All right, these are the questions that we pulled from the YouTube comments and the Discord in order to give you guys some answers on some things that you might have had for us, or maybe something you missed in the campaign. Anything in that nature. What you're going to get is these first three questions are going to be for everybody. The next three were Hudson/DM specific questions. And the last three were supposed to be technically player questions, but we tried to alter them a little bit to give a chance for Hudson to have his input, because I think the DM's input is always interesting to hear. Also, just as a little something, I might stick it out to the end of the video because there might be some cool little teaser info about our upcoming live streamed campaign. But hey, if you don't want any info on that, I suppose that's up to you. I hope you guys enjoy the questions. Everyone, question one. Which or what NPC do you wish that you could have seen more of? And my answer was definitely the person from the storyline of my teammates, or my parents' teammate, rather. That kind of dipped out to the lightning area, never to be seen again or really heard of. But, you know, we didn't really venture out to the lightning land, so we didn't get an opportunity to see that, hang out with that, all that good stuff. But he is one I was interested in story-wise. Kevin?
Yeah, for me it was definitely either Hoshigaki, I think, or Lily. Those are definitely my main two.
Valid.
Lily was a very interesting character, and Hoshigaki was as well.
Morisa or Suiko?
I mean, easy answer would be a Kendro, but honestly, I'd have liked to see more of Lily too. I think she could have had like a really cool story. She was a very interesting character.
Yeah, a little scary at times, but you know, turning into a dragon and all. Hudson, any of your own characters that you had that you wish you would have fleshed out more?
I mean, I guess kind of Kenjiro, even though he was there a lot. There was like some stuff about his backstory that I never really got to explore that much with you guys. And I don't know. I guess some of the villains, I wish they'd maybe lasted a little longer. We've gotten to escape once or twice. But yeah, I would say Kenjiro overall. Just because I really like playing him, and I feel like I only got to play him at like the first half of the campaign, really, as opposed to the second half. So
Sure, he did kind of dip out on us there for a bit. Listen, he had his important agenda.
The meta reason is obviously like you don't want the DM's guy to overshadow the players, so you can't just have the sensei there like fixing everything.
It makes sense. It would probably get a little irritating or boring. Yeah, valid. So question 2. What was everybody's favorite arc to play in the campaign, or in Hudson's case, DM? Personally, I have the cop-out answer of the final arc. A lot of that has to do with Arata's not super strong ability up until the final arc of getting Sage Mode. So little selfishness. But my answer of alternate arcs would definitely be kind of the mini arc that we had of talking to the village leaders and stopping the war. I thought that was really fun. I enjoyed the politics. That was kind of Arata's thing, but I also personally just enjoy that in games of like playing the politician and kind of like controlling the land space or like how people feel. So I thought that was very cool. I thought that section was really neat. I also am a little sad we didn't get to see Arata attempt to mimic his father in the meeting. Although it was probably for better that didn't happen. But, you know, it was still out there. Izuto?
Yeah, the Land of Wind was pretty cool because it was a lot more traditionally D&D of like environments and animals as opposed to ninjas and sparrows the whole time, which I mean eventually we ended up doing dragons and sparrows, so I guess it all eventually comes to the same spot. But yeah, that was definitely one of my favorites. The Mizukage arc was definitely a good shout out, so was the final
That was
arc.
fun. Yeah, that was good. Suiko?
Honestly, my favorite arc was the Chunin exam. I just had a lot of fun in that one. I thought all of our characters kind of got our little time to shine, and it was fun interacting with all the NPCs and like our classmates and stuff.
Yeah, I think that one was very, very well done by Hudson overall. That was a very solid arc. Hudson, your favorite arc to DM?
I mean, can I just say I agree with all your guys' choices?
Yeah, that's valid. That's valid.
I think my top. I can't really choose between them because. All right, so here's the thing. Land of Wind, for a lot of the reasons that Kevin was talking about, just like it felt very. It felt like I was going on an adventure with you guys, and that was kind of fun. Like describing the wilderness and stuff like that, and like worrying about water and stuff like that. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've always like ever since I watched Naruto, like I always wanted to do a tuning exam of my own or whatever. So in retrospect, I enjoyed it the most, but it was like the most stressful thing to DM for too, because I was like wanted to make it so perfect and stuff.
Oh, I'm sure. And there were so many different people to like keep
Yeah,
track
there were a
of
lot
for
of
you.
NPCs. Like I wanted to have them all have like some little thing or whatever. So yeah, that was very stressful, but I think it turned out well. So
Yeah, that
It
one
was
was
great.
big poggies. All right, so final everybody question here. What was all of our favorite characters? So not the one that we wish we had more of, but rather the favorite one that we saw. And for me, Arata, it had to be Hodashi. For like favorite kind of character there. I mean, you know, Nariba's cool and all, but no, Hodashi was so much fun. I think every interaction was funny. I genuinely laughed every time. It also helped a lot that the people, our viewers, got very attached to the Hodashi Arata ship that never did officially happen. But you know, in everyone's hearts, it can stay that way. But yeah, Hodashi was definitely my number one. You run it,
Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah, for me it was Shark Boy, good old Hoshigaki. I always forget his name. But yeah, Shark Boy was. I liked him. He was just a little battle junkie like Izuto was, so it was very fun to get along with. And yeah, he was definitely my favorite NPC. I mean, shouts out to obviously Kenjiro. I think he was played well. I actually think an underrated one was the Hokage. I think he stayed fairly consistent in most of his character development and like slowly changing to like accepting dragons and stuff like that. I think he was actually fairly consistent, even though we didn't see a whole lot of them. But his rules and laws were like consistent with how they changed.
Yeah, I was actually a good shout that I didn't like really consider. Suiko?
Obviously, I love Kenjiro. I think I'd have to go. I'd have to go with Shisugi. I thought her interactions with her were really fun. I always enjoyed talking to her character.
She
she
was
liked you.
awesome. Yeah. It was a little easier for you to enjoy those conversations than others.
Yeah, but
uh,
I also really enjoyed just Arata trying to suck up to her and it never going well.
not a single time, baby. No, she was awesome. I did like her a lot. All right, so I know you have a lot. They're probably all near and dear to you, Hudson. But do you have your favorite NPC that you played as?
Yeah, so just overall character, I really enjoyed playing and interacting with you guys as Tetch. He was one of my like I made a lot of like big villains or whatever, but that was probably one of my favorite ones because I felt like legitimately bad for him because he was basically like a war veteran who got like majorly screwed over and kind of went crazy as a result. So I always was like kind of rooting for him to win.
Okay,
even though I
well.
thought it was pretty unlikely.
Calm down.
With regards to, that was interesting. I hadn't even thought of my portrayal of the Hokage or whatever, but I actually did enjoy playing him a lot because my thing with him was like, he's just like he just wants to protect the village at any cost. Like that's basically him as a character. And it was interesting, like clashing up against you guys when you guys might not want to do that at any cost.
Listen,
Yeah, I haven't thought about him in a while because he wasn't really around for most of the second half. But yeah, he was interesting to play.
yeah, Izuto's PC. I stand Tobirama and Donzo, so the Hokage was right in my alley. Of
Yeah,
like
definitely more on those two rather than like the fourth or the third.
yeah,
That's
So-
funny. Yeah, that is solid. Yeah, Tetch was sick. Tetch was a beautiful villain, in all honesty. I still him fake talk no jutsuing is still possibly my favorite moment of the campaign. That was so good.
Oh yeah.
I was so sick. All right, so these are just for you, Hudson. You can answer as little or as much as you feel inclined to do so. And the first question, which I know we kind of preface these, do you or did you have any plans on the port town? And they were specifically referring to the one like in the pirate section, especially where like we left all the gold and everything. And this is a viewer question. I think they're wondering, like, did it grow to massive amounts in your eyes? Anything of that nature, I suppose.
Yeah, I sort of had like tentative plans at one point for you guys to come back and like find this massive like light tower that was there built by the guy. Yeah, no, if I was going to continue, then I would probably have you guys go back there and see how much it had developed in the meantime. I mean, you guys invested quite a bit of gold into that town, so
Just a little bit.
it had quite the nest egg there.
That's not even including the gold we forgot on the ship. Like, we gave them a lot
we
and
did
then forgot even
on the
more.
ship.
Yeah, he was rolling in it, to say the least. Cool. So question 2. This is them. We have the answer here, and I think it was said in the campaign, but I think more for clarification as to who actually attacked the Mizukage, and which clan was involved, and I guess kind of what happened there, since I think the story kind of not derailed, but went more towards the importance of Ratsumi and Arinari. So I think that was just kind of missed by some people.
Yeah, so it was not directly involved with any clan. However, it was the lieutenant of I can't remember her clan name.
The
Great
Shakutan?
question.
No. Was it Shakutan?
It might have been Shakutan. It was the female clan head in any case. The
Yeah.
other guy was the guy. And yeah, it was her lieutenant basically. If she had known about it, she probably would have stopped it, but she might have also not stopped it. He just wanted to make sure that she had plausible deniability in case things went sour, which they did. But yeah, it was just that guy trying to form an alliance between his clan and the Sparrows and taking over the Land of Water as a result, basically.
No, that's well. That makes sense for him to like kind of purposefully not tell his leader, in the sense of, hey, now you're good if it does go bad. Smile.
As a side question, what were your thoughts on us basically lying and be like, the Mizukage died a hero and he wanted you to be the next Mizukage?
Ooh, yeah.
I thought that it was very appropriate for that arc. I'll put it that way. Like that arc, like everyone lies to everyone in the Land of Water.
Yeah.
You guys adapted to their customs by the end.
We might have been one of the first ones lying for good rather than evil, though.
That might be true.
Awesome. So last question, which I think this is one of the most fun question out of the 3 for you. What point, if any, did us players do something story-wise, or maybe even beating an enemy that you didn't expect us to beat, that completely threw you, or like we completely like kind of derailed your initial plan?
So this isn't going to be a very satisfying answer for anyone, I think. But there was a point in the tuning exams. I think it was like one of the first encounters where you guys were up against like a Jonin and you were supposed to like bring him down to half health, and then
I know what you're talking about.
Roll or whatever.
Yeah.
And I expected that fight to like actually be really hard, and you guys I think you like barely took any damage. Mm-hmm. And at that point, like, I remember thinking to myself, I was like, oh crap, like I'm gonna actually need to like buff up some of these enemies now. I think you guys had like just leveled up or something. I just wasn't prepared for that power spike. Other than that, I don't really think that you guys beat someone. I was like, oh no way they beat this guy. I tried to avoid putting encounters like that in front of players, at least not unless like it's clear to them that they don't have much of a shot.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That is funny, because I forgot about that moment, but I remember it being like the 2 Jonins were there, but he was like, just bring me to half health, and it was like set up to be this really difficult challenge that we like near like 1 rounded, maybe 2 rounded.
Yeah, Izuto used like some range shit and like took him out.
I think it was like it ended up being 1 round or 2 round of a doubled agonizing thorn that rolled really high.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Excuse me. All right. Awesome. So these are the last 3 player questions. Although I will say, I think some of these I am going to include Hudson in, if he feels like throwing any input, if he so desires. But question 1, at what point, if any, did you legitimately think, welp, this is actually going to be my last character sesh? Or in other words, when did you think your character was just dead? And you were like, well, GG's. Which I believe for Arata, going into fight Ratsumi, before I realized that Hudson was gonna have her be like slightly injured. I thought I was gonna have to go into her like full health, and I was just gonna get rolled and smoked. I was like, he has to fight this because he doesn't have a choice. And I also didn't fully understand werewolf mode yet, so that was very much like this could go very badly very quickly. And then the other one was fighting Kianari in the final arc. When Arata was getting used to Sage mode, tried to W key her and got absolutely bodied. And she just kind of grabbed him and yoinked him and was like, well, want to make a deal? And luckily my teammates were able to convince her and save me. But yes, those are my two. Izuto.
Yeah, I think the I guess statistical one where we were pretty out and done. Obviously the water temple. That one was
spooky.
Was scarce, but I felt kind of a shield of plot armor in a way. Whether it was there or not, only Hudson knows. But the Earth Yokai, that was obviously the one where it was literally just a turn-based JRPG for a second there of can he not get hit through no dust coat?
Down hit.
Yeah. And my personal one where I was like thinking back on it now was the second fight with Lily. If Lily killed Izuto, I would have been like, that would have been, I would like, yes, you kill off Izuto, but you provide this like motivation for Arata, Than, and Kenjiro and Suiko to like chase like this thing down. Which it was 50-50 whether I was gonna die or not, because she was like, "Hey, you're gonna die if you fight. Hey, you're gonna die if you fight. You're gonna die if you fight me." And that's usually like the DM going, "Hey, you're gonna die if you fight her." So I did it anyway. But yeah, that was. It's got scary at certain points.
Wow, those good answers. Suiko.
Easy answer when the sage forcefully ripped out my dragon.
That's a solid answer, baby.
I was like, "Ayo!" Dead.
That's on Arata and Izuto clutching up some insane medical checks. Yeah, no, that is probably the like best answer for Suiko, bar none. Hudson, did you have any moments where you're like, oh shit, we're getting maybe not total party killed, but someone's going down permanently?
Yeah,
I mean,
right
there was
Wind Dragon.
Wind Dragon, that was pretty sketch. I thought I didn't think that everyone would die there though. I thought maybe one of you would. But the two things that was really close was Izuto walking over the landmine cavern.
Yeah,
if he rolls low, then he's gonna just like straight up die, and like the whole thing will explode. And so that was sketch. And then then Suiko having the water dragon ripped out of her by the sage. I was like, yeah, there's a good chance, unless they like find something clever to do. And you did manage to do it in the end. But that was very close. So that required some high rolls as well.
I forgot about the mine cave again, but yeah, that one was
Yeah,
that was a choice that was made.
I don't know why I did that. It was some weird jutsu with magnetism to get over a bunch of mines.
Yeah, looking back at it, that was wild. Beautiful. So question 2. And this one is more directed to the players. I suppose Hudson can answer on some NPCs, but what other class clan combinations were you considering during character creations, if any, and were you happy with the choice you ended up making? At the time when we were first starting, this was my first Naruto 5e campaign, so I was pretty set on Hunternin from the get-go for Arata, just because I always loved the like rogue dagger style class. That always leans my direction. So that was for sure. And when it comes to clan, I was bouncing between a ton. I wanted to do Uchiha really, really badly, but I didn't do it off the sole reason that I thought it was boring, in the sense of like everyone probably does Uchiha. So I did want to do something like slightly out of comfort zone, and I am a big dog person. I think Akamaru is the best character in Naruto, bar none. So, Inuzuka was a no question or no brainer there. Now, do I feel happy with the choices I made? For Inuzuka, hell yeah. Than was so fun in the story. I genuinely don't think the campaign's the same without Than. It was so good. As for class, yes. but the swap to the poison was questionable to say the least. Screw poison, man. That was bad. I am not happy about that choice, but listen, I swapped and I didn't want to swap subclasses again because I felt that was lame. So I was just going to kind of ride it out till the end, but Arata probably would have been way stronger had I not chosen to try to do the poison route. But hey, you know, it came with some cool moments. I made some people go to sleep or have interesting things. So
hey, you clutched it against Sonari. We had nothing else against Sonari.
That is true. The poison did give us a huge possible only way out in that situation. So it did something for us. Yeah, that is kind of my answer for that one. What you got, Easy-Toe?
Yeah. Is this one what? Oh yeah, what you were considering?
Yeah, class clan. If you wanted anything else,
I had two ideas for a character, and it was a scythe wielding weapon specialist, a lot like Hidan would be, and a cultist genjutsu specialist, which I ended up using for the tournament we had at the beginning. So I ended up living my dream of a cultist genjutsu person that kept doing rituals and stuff in people's minds.
He got both.
But I think the Hidan weapon specialist could have been cool, but the weapon specialist, again, I also never played Naruto 5e, and the weapon specialist has a lot of stacking, a lot of combos and stuff, which Suiko eventually ended up taking the taijutsu role, and I was like, it's a bit repetitive if I'm also weapon specialist, and then Arata is the hunter nin. We have no, like, ninjutsu specialist, which I ended up taking. And I did want the kind of here's an all elements thing about, but it wasn't a subclass when we started, so yeah.
It did come out mid-campaign.
Yeah. Unfortunate. But yeah, two basically Hidan-based personalities. One a cultist and cultist genjutsu, and the other one a weapon specialist.
We stand Hidan in this household.
Yes, we do.
Suiko, were you happy with your choice? Would you have changed anything, or did you consider anything else?
No, I went into this knowing full well that I wanted to be an Uzumaki, and I knew full well that I wanted to be a taijutsu specialist to keep it as simple as possible.
Fair enough.
I went in and I stuck to it. Yeah, I don't think I would have changed anything. If we had done another Naruto campaign, what was Conan from the Akatsuki? What was her clan?
That was Shikigami.
Shikigami? I was like, it sounds like origami,
Yep.
But it's not.
It's Shikigami.
Yeah. If we had done another Naruto campaign, I would have liked to be from Conan's clan. But no, I'm pretty happy with Suiko's character. Tried to keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah. I had the idea of a Shikigami character as well for like another future Naruto campaign. It's a lot of like crafting and stuff like that, but I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah, her clan is dope. It is a lot of like messing with stuff. So for her first campaign, it was probably good that you did not pick it, because all three of us would have struggled to mess with that on our first run through. It was an experience. It
would have been like you have to buy like 3 paper bombs, and then you have to buy like another smoke bomb to
and then combine them into a thing. Yeah,
and then you have to buy paper and like buy explosive paper if you want to do this and that. So for the first one, yeah, thank God none of us chose that, because I was thinking
rich enough to do it.
We weren't rich. We ended up being rich enough to do it.
I feel like a Nara would have been fun to play, but definitely not for me. I took one look at how to play a Nara, and I was like, nope, I'm out.
Nope, get me out of here. Get me going.
Very supportive.
Yeah, which I'm okay with being a supportive character, but not that supportive.
No.
So I guess to kind of change the question, out of curiosity for you, Hudson, which we do obviously have the other campaign that was going, but class clan combinations, do you have any like cool ones that you think would be unique, like one that you're like, hey, this is dope? The answer can be no. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, so like I looked over all the clan stuff and all the classes when I first like started looking at Naruto 5e, and I was like, oh, I have like all these ideas for different characters and stuff. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't remember any of them now.
That's fair.
How about rephrasing it like this? Is there a villain or character that was a lot more original than the rest in terms of like jutsu or combination of jutsu?
I tried to make most of the sparrows have something weird about them. I tried to make them like give them some sort of special ability or special trait or something.
I was like, because Tonari, I mean, Tech, it was very original because it was basically Fuinjutsu, more or less, and Fuinjutsu can get really crazy, especially describing it, like flavor text
Yeah,
wise.
you can get very creative.
Tonari was also very original. So yeah, there was definitely some cool like not copy paste Naruto characters in there. Actually, I don't think there was many copy paste ones in there anyway.
Speaking of Fuinjutsu, I will change my answer a little bit. I do wish Suiko had been more involved in Fuinjutsu a little bit more.
Done some more sealing stuff. That's a fair answer. A good thought. Good shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the way that you can do like a character is basically do you dive deeper into your subclass, or the way Naruto 5e works, because you can't really dive deeper into a race if you're playing like D&D, but do you dive deeper into the clan or into your like subclass? And I feel like we all, we all kind of dove deeper into the subclass. I don't think any of us did like a clan, because it's not like you're using Inuzuka Jutsu. It's, I mean, I was using Dust Code off rip and the Dust Wings,
stuff, but that was it. Yeah.
And it's not like any of us went the clan route all that much, besides its inherent passives.
Bonuses, man. Trope. Yeah. So, final question here. And what were the inspirations for the actual player characters? And I can tell you for Arata, if there are any Valo heads out there, anyone that plays Valorant, you might go back and notice that Arata actually uses, at least older version Arata, uses Jet's, like just basically most of her clothing, just recolored. And his toxic mask is Viper's mask. So I'm a big Valo head, so it's very easy to like pull from that because I think they all have very cool outfits and uniforms. So that's where his kind of outfit comes from. When it comes to like inspirations for him as a character, so funnily enough, like if you watch the first few episodes, he was intended to be like a pretty stuck-up, snobby kid that was just very like, I'm better than everyone, especially being heir to the throne and all that. But he got humbled throughout the entire first arc over and over again between like not hitting, falling in the snow. Even Than, his dog, was like also just goofing around all the time, not able to do much. So he got humbled quickly, so he pivoted pretty hard from what I originally planned him to be. So while he wasn't what I planned him, I'm very happy with how he turned out, of kind of being the like calm mediator of like the two dynamics of Suiko and Izuto. And then being that kind of like converting himself to be like, okay, I want to be this political figurehead. I want there to be peace. I want to fight for that. So that was most of his inspiration, I suppose. And his first clothing set was, I believe, just basically athletic clothing. It was like athletic shorts, some leggings, like a hoodie shirt kind of thing. But yeah, I believe that was most of his inspiration stuff. I want to say there was one more thing I was going to add into that, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, Thanatos is based off of a border collie. If you're a dog person, there you go. But yeah, Izuto.
First iteration of Izuto, young Izuto. I found this really cool OC. Shouts out whoever did it, of basically a puppet master, and the puppet was a centipede. And I thought it would be really cool to do that, but the centipede was a gourd. And that ended up being like a really cool gourd. Especially, obviously, the inspiration for mine was very heavily based on Gaara, from Clan to even some of the characters. Or some of the personality, sorry. So the first iteration, the black and white and the asymmetric colors are, I just like asymmetric stuff. I don't know if you guys ever noticed, his eyes are different colors. He has two different earrings. His hair is two different colors, and his clothes were two different colors. I love asymmetric stuff. I own clothes that are very asymmetric. I never wear the same earrings. Everything about it is asymmetric.
He's quirky.
I love all the asymmetric stuff. I hate being too linear and too basic. Personality wise, I kind of wanted him to be a lot like Gaara, in the sense of like he was very hard to accept people, but then eventually, like once he accepted, it's like I like the way he disagrees with Tamari, or the way he disagrees with Kankuro, but he still like loves him in the end. I kind of wanted to delve that out. And obviously, older Izuto, the idea to replace this gourd with basically iron tattoos that would mark his skin. The markings are loosely based off of Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen, and just general like prisoner tattoos of like bands and stuff like that. Since he was a bit of an outsider, and I also thought since he was switching more to the Shidori, he had lightning sides for a while, and he was switching more to like a melee character. I thought it would be cooler to take the gourd out and kind of replace it with something else, and then kind of word it to where like the dust coat is, like already on his body and is just like evading stuff. And I thought that was cool. The outfit was also Sasuke when he gets his curse mark in Naruto Shippuden, when he faces like not even when he gets a curse mark, sorry, but in Naruto Shippuden when he comes up against Yamato and Naruto, he's wearing that like Orochimaru rope and like the Orochimaru gear, and that was heavily based off of that. Yeah, personality wise, it was definitely very heavy influenced by Gaara. Gaara is my favorite. I mean, at least one of my favorites. It's either one or two favorite characters in Naruto. So that'd be it.
Hell yeah. Suiko, what were your character inspos?
Oh God, yeah. I do not have a detailed answer for that. I went into this being like, I want my character to be as simple as possible. So her clothing simplistic for that reason. Her personality, I don't know. I just wanted her to be simple and kind of dumb. So that if I ever did something incredibly stupid as a first-time player, I could be like, oh, what a shame. My character is naturally dumb.
It's the character's fault, not mine.
Yeah. But, I mean, other than that, I guess, like, her backstory, inspired by Naruto's mom, Kushina. But, I mean, that's basically it, really, for inspiration.
Yeah, that was solid. Yeah. I was like, I know your clothing tended to be pretty original. Like, you just kind of went out and were like, what outfits do I think look dope? And you just ran it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Suiko starting off was definitely like your typical low charisma, high strength character that's kind of dopey, but then ended up growing into like a very empathetic and understanding
the very
character,
sweet,
which
the very loving.
Obviously like it doesn't sit well with Izuto, who's basically unempathetic until the moment he's close to you, and then he's very like, even then he's not really empathetic. He's looking out for your well-being. So he's like I don't know. For example, if it was like a choice between like Arata and I don't know, like someone in the village, right? Like an innocent person, like Izuto is not gonna think twice about Shidoring that other person in the heart if it saves Arata. Where I think Suiko might have like try to talk it out, like Izuto would just be like, all right, I just gotta do what I gotta do for my group. So we definitely had a lot of polarizing views, but I think it ended up being a pretty cool, not even dichotomy, because Arata's in the throw, basically being like the mediator of us two.
Yeah, I think it actually worked out really well. Character personalities between the three of them.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so I mean, Hudson, if we were framing this question for you, if there's if you want your input, were there any, I guess, characters for you that you made that like had heavy inspiration from something? I mean, obviously you're gonna have a lot of Naruto inspiration running a Naruto-esque campaign, but were there any other like shows or media or anything like that you took inspiration from?
I'm sure, but not consciously.
Okay, yeah.
One thing I would like to say with regards to your guys' player characters is, well, on the same note, I think there was a lot of character growth for all the PCs, which is pretty unusual to get in like a tabletop RPG. Normally, people just play the same way throughout. So props to you guys for making interesting little character arcs for yourself. I did what I could to help, but it was ultimately your guys' work. So good work.
So there it is, 9 of your most pressing questions answered. And as promised, I'm going to give it to you, all right? Our live streamed campaign, if you don't know, I started streaming on Twitch again, is going to be there, twitch.tv/Blzane. It'll be linked down in the description. If you're in the Discord, you'll get a notification when I go live for all that good stuff. But it is going to be Thursdays at 9 p.m. Central, going to about midnight Central time. Times might vary. People might be a little late, a little early. We might be able to start sooner, might end sooner and later, depending on what's going on. But that's going to be the general time frame. I will personally probably be going live a little earlier before that, but it will be bare minimum 9. So stay excited for that. Coming this next Wednesday, we're going to have a teaser video for you with genuine info and maybe some cool stuff to look at and hear. And I'm going to be explaining to you at least what I know about the story, because to be honest, Hudson's kind of keeping this one under wraps, so it should be fun. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace out.